Hey, this will be a review of page 151, and then the skills workbook pages 54 through 56, numbers 7 through 12. I'll be reviewing the odd ones for those. So, first on page 151, there was a review that we did in class on page 150. You'll use a similar process for this, just different numbers. This one's going through an 18% tip. So for this one, it's asking you to write an equation. So T would be the tip, and you'd put 0.18 for the tip amount for the percentage of 18, and then times the letter B for the amount of the bill. So then from there, you just have to plug the numbers into the equation. So how much of a tip? So you're asking for the tip, and they're giving you the amount of the bill. So you would just plug those into the equation, 0.18, and then times 54, which is the amount of the bill. Then from there, you would just multiply out 0.18 times 54. And if you multiply that out, you would get $9.72. So the tip on a bill of $54 at 18% would be $9.72. Then letter C. Letter C is asking how much for the restaurant bill. So this time you don't know the amount of the bill, so you'd have to put the letter B, but it does tell you the tip of $12. So for this one now you need to divide to solve for the letter B. Divide by 0.18 here. Divide by 0.18 on this side. Those cancel. You're left with B. And if you divided, you would get approximately 66.67. You would have to round to that. Next one, letter D. This time they're telling you the amount of the bill. They're not telling you the tip amount. So put the letter T for the tip. Put the 0.18. And the amount of the bill is $12. So for this one, you just need to multiply 0.18 times 12. And the tip amount should be $2.16. And then letter E. Letter E, it is telling you the tip. They want to know how much the bill is. So tip is $3.20. Percent is still 18. You do not know the amount of the bill yet. So for this one, dividing. Divide by 0.18 on each side. The right, they cancel. You're left with B. And then if you divide 3.20 by 0.18, you should get approximately $17.78. Now on to the skills workbook. So it's going to be pages 54 to 56, numbers 7 to 12. I'll go ahead and do the odd ones. And number 7 is already done for you, but I'll review it. So number 7 says that Landon has a net income. That would mean total income of 5,000, and he has a budget, meaning what he's expected to spend in certain categories like housing, like rent, utilities like electricity, gas, food, personal items, entertainment, savings, and like donations and charity. So for this one, it gives you the answers. I'll just review them with you. It says calculate the amount of money that Landon has in each month for savings and charity. So if you go to 7% here, you would just need to multiply the 0.07. Remember, it's not going to be 0.7. That would be 70%. It must be 0.07. So like when you get questions like this on number 8, when you have something like 4%, that would be 0.04. Numbers like 40, that would be zero point 0.4. And you can add a zero after if you want to help you to remember. So this one would be the 4%. This one would be the 40. So for these first few at 7% of the 5,000 net income, that would be 350. And then similar process for the charity, 5% of the 5,000 is 250. Now it's asking if he spends 375 and 600 on food. So this time it's telling you how much they spend on these particular items. Now they want to know the percentage. So you do not know the percentage. So this time you need to divide 375 of the $5,000. That would be 0.075. And that would be about 7.5% if you change it to a percentage. And then for the food is here with the 600. So the 600 of the 5,000, you're dividing, you get 0.12. So 600 divided by 5,000. So 600 of the total 5,000 would be 0.12 or 12%. And then you would see the same thing with letter C, a similar process. So he's going to have a new home, which is going to be $19.25 per month. What must his monthly net income be to keep the housing at 35%? So this one's a little bit different. So it's going to have this part missing. It's asking for the monthly net income. What must the monthly net income be? So it's not giving you that, but it is telling you that they want it to be 35% of that would be the 1925. And that would be 5,500. So he would need to increase his income from 5,000 to 5,500. He need to increase it by 500. Let me show you number 9. So this one, he has a monthly budget that breaks down as follows: 35% for housing, 22 for food, 12 for utilities, 5 for entertainment, 18 for savings, 8 for personal. And he has 4,200 each month for the monthly income. So calculate the amount of money that Marcus has each month for entertainment. So then you would look up here, and this says 5% for entertainment. So how much per month for entertainment? So for this one, you would take his 5%, which would be as a decimal 0.05, and multiply that by the income of 4,200. So you'd put that in the calculator, 4,200 times 0.05, and that would be $210. So every month, about $210 on entertainment. Next, for letter B, last month he spent 480 on food and going out to eat. What percent of his monthly income did he spend on food? So this time you're missing this number here, the percentage. So we have the amount spent per month, which is 480. We do not know the percentage, and we do know his monthly income is 4,200. So kind of like we did on the previous page of our lesson, we would now need to divide. Divide by 4,200 on both sides, 4,200. These would cancel. You'd be left with P equals 480 divided by 4,200. And for this one, you can round it. You'd round it to about 11%, about 0.11, which is 11%. Next one, Marcus wants to increase the amount he is setting aside for savings from 18 to 20. How much more will he be saving? So you're going to do a comparison of 18 and 20%. So how much per month? First, he's going to do 18% of his income, which is 4,200. And then he's going to compare that to if he put away 20%. So you'd multiply out for each of them, starting with the top one in blue, 0.18 times 4,200, and you'd get 756. And then for the one in red, similar process, 0.20 times 4,200, that would be 840. So if you subtract the two numbers, 840 minus 756, there'd be a difference of $84. So he'd be increasing his savings by $84. And then number 11 says she has a monthly budget, and these are her breakdowns for the percentages. And her net income is 5,500 each month. It says to calculate the amount of money that Laurel has for savings each month. So you got to look up here, and I see 20% for savings. So the amount per month of savings, 0.20 times the income of 5,500. So you would just need to multiply 0.20 times 5,500, and you'd get 1,100. So every month into savings is 1,100. Letter B says she spent 500 on entertainment. What percent is that? So once again, you're missing the percent. So you know she is doing 500. You don't know the percent. Her monthly income is 5,500. So for this one, divide by 5,500 on each side. So you want to know what percent is 550 of the total income of 5,500. So you would do 500 divided by 5,500. And for this one, you can round it to about 0.09, which would turn out to be 9%. And then lastly, letter C, she's going to have a new mortgage payment of 2,500. What must she increase her net income to in order to keep the housing cost at 25%? So for this one, it's telling you what they want the percent to be. So you'd put the 2,500. That's going to be 25% of what number? So how much will her monthly income need to be to make sure that 2,500 is 25%? So for this one, you would divide by 0.25 on both sides. Divide by 0.25. So you'd have 2,500 divided by 0.25. So she would need to increase her monthly income quite a bit to $10,000.